Okay, in this tutorial, what we're going to be doing is adjusting the white balance on a photo for Wubbers University. And first thing we need to do is we need to open some photos. We're going to use the Apple's Preview application, which is free and comes on the computer. You can also use Adobe Lightroom, but that costs about 80 bucks. So if you can do this within Preview, it's a little bit less expensive. So go ahead and open a window where you can see the photos that you want to adjust. I've already adjusted some photos here. But go ahead and choose the first photo. You can choose multiple photos by holding down the Shift key and just selecting, but that will only do them sequentially. I'm going to deselect quickly, but if you wanted to do every other one, for example, you can hold the Command key, okay, and select individual photos. In this case, I just need to select them all. So I'm going to select the first photo, hold the Shift key, and select the last photo, and then double click. When I do that, you'll see that my photos are shown on the left-hand side. I have thumbnails. And in my case, I wanted to make these a little bit larger. They actually came out like this. If you hover down at the bottom, you can actually extend this section so your thumbnails are a little bit bigger, which is nice for looking at the consistency of your photos. Actually, I'm going to go in, I'm going to open a couple others so you can see the difference between ones that are adjusted. Okay, so I've opened the photos that I want to take a look at, and the first one has actually been corrected. So the picture that you're seeing on the screen is corrected. Again, I can make these thumbnails smaller by dragging, hover until you see this little cross icon down here, and you can increase the size. This first photo, you can see everything. This is a white fire brick, and it's pretty bright. If I click on the second one, then notice how dark it is, and the colors are just not quite right. So what we're doing is we're adjusting the color to match this previous one. You'll want to go to the Tools menu and choose Adjust Color. Okay, and this little box will appear on the side. The two things that we're looking at, there's a medicine dropper to the left of the word tint. We're going to be using that, and also the Auto Levels button. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to select the photo that has not been enhanced. I'm going to choose the medicine dropper. And I'm looking for an area that's kind of gray or white. And you'll see down here, it says pick a neutral gray or white point in the photo to remove the color cast. So I'm going to look somewhere on the brick. I know that the brick is actually a white color. Okay, and you can just choose something. You won't know if the effect is right until you choose auto levels and brighten it. So next you choose auto levels. And that actually looks pretty good, but you can compare it to the previous one and notice that this one's a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm going to actually increase the exposure a little bit and try and brighten that up a little. I can also see it has a little bit of a pink cast. You can see that it's still not quite the same as the other one. You could go ahead and use the dropper to see if you can pick another spot that will make it whiter. And try this over here. And that's actually pretty close. I could go and adjust some of the colors a little bit and see if I can get that to match better. And then again, I can adjust my exposure. And that's actually pretty close. Once we've printed it in our tutorials, you won't be able to see the difference. So again, you can go to the next one, pick your medicine dropper. If you pick pretty much the same point on each photo, it should also help if you have a common element. And you can see again, comparing these two, that this one's a little bit brighter. So we can use our exposure. And it also needs, let's see, the color temperature. Let's see if I can adjust that. That actually is bringing that better into, I guess, agreement with the previous one. So you could try color temperature and go a little bit more blue. So that worked great. So just continue on and repeat for all of your photos. I'm going to choose auto levels. That one looks pretty good. I might give it a little bit more of a blue temperature. And when you're done, you can simply close the window and all of those changes will be saved. And that's your tutorial for adjusting the white balance.